Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, I want to discuss the DAZN recap that had Haney against Jorge Linares in the main event. Undercard actually didn't end up being too bad. I picked it up right when the main fight started, the bottom three, undercard fights. You had, I think it's a Zinga Fuzil fighting Thomas Ward. I think it was Thomas Ward or Martin Ward from the United Kingdom, fighting him to, I think this was 130-pound final eliminator, with the winner to be in line to fight for the title, which is going to be decided later this year between Shavkat Rakhimov and I'm drawing a blank on the Japanese fighter's name, but Rakhimov will be the favorite. I think it's Kenichi Ogawa, I think is his name, but don't hold me to that. It could be something else. I know what's his name is going for. Rakhimov is going to be the favorite going in, fighting for that vacant belt. But he's going to be taking on, he took on Thomas Ward or Martin Ward or whatever, and it ended up being a pretty good fight, but Fuzil was just on it, man. This guy's out of South Africa, and he's proven to this point against Rakhimov. He was beating Rakhimov on the cards before Rakhimov stopped him. There was some controversy in that fight, and he came back here against Ward and did great. I mean, he was just landing great shots, catching all of Ward's shots, and Ward did good. Ward landed some good shots. He was coming forward. He was fighting hard, but it looks like that fifth-round TKO loss to James Tennyson a couple of years ago wasn't just a fluke. Getting up on this level is difficult, and Fuzil proved he's on the level and ready for another crack at the top guys. And he stopped Ward, I believe it was the 7th or 8th round of that fight, and got the biggest win of his career, and now is in line to fight the winner of Rakhimov and Ogawa, who are going to fight for the vacant title in the next few months. So I'm looking forward to that. Rakhimov did great since that win. He became mandatory. He took on Jojo Diaz, who was overweight and fought to a draw, back in February, and now he gets another crack at the vacant title. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens and seeing Fuzil back in the ring, because he looks like he's on a championship level and he's going to get his crack now. So big win for him. Now the other undercard action that was on, middleweight fight between Jason Quigley and Shane Mosley Jr. This was supposed to happen a few months ago. Quigley was injured, so these two guys went at it finally. And I'm not really surprised that Jason Quigley rallied back and beat Mosley in the late rounds. I think we can chalk up both these guys as, at the very best, they're stepping stone fighters, somewhat gatekeepers. I just don't think Mosley is on that level. This was his 3rd or 4th pro loss, and he's not his dad. He's not even close to his dad, and there's no shame in that. The fact that he's a somewhat successful pro boxer is impressive, but he's just not on the level. He was winning the fight, and then Jason Quigley rallied in the late rounds and got a close majority decision. This doesn't really do much for Quigley. It keeps him in there, and maybe somebody will give him a crack because he beat Mosley Jr., but that is name recognition. But I don't know how big it's and how much it's going to matter, so we'll see. But he got the win. Congrats to Quigley. 1 second. All right. So now the recap of the main event, Devin Haney and Jorge Linares. I think everybody's wants to know about this fight. So, Devin Haney came out and he looked really good. He was boxing well. He was jabbing well. He was hitting, what's his name, at will. He was hitting Linares at will. He was landing that jab crisp, and really, really well. And I'm not knocking him. He proved he's a top 5 lightweight in my opinion. He's undefeated. good. You know, don't get me wrong. He looks very good at 22 years old. Very good. I have no problem with the fact that he was pretty much winning 8-9 rounds prior to getting hit hard and hurt in the 10th round and staggered. But I was definitely very disappointed in the refereeing in this fight. Haney came out and was still on shaky legs in the 11th and the 12th, and he continuously came at Linares to hold him. You know, and this was just poor officiating. The fact that Haney was allowed to get away with this over and over without a warning, without a point taken away, is ridiculous, because it changed the end of the fight right there. If Haney was warned and had to stop holding, then he's wide open to get hurt more and hit more, and Linares might have stopped him. So I know the Haney fans and detractors are using dumbass comparisons like, oh, well, Canelo never got hit, or Canelo never even touched Mayweather at 22. Okay, Haney is, first off, he wasn't fighting Mayweather, and second off, he's not Canelo. But, you know, that doesn't matter. A fight is 12 rounds. And I said this during Canelo's last fight with Billy Joe. No matter what you had that fight scored, Canelo stopped him in the 8th round. So it doesn't matter what you guys think of Canelo's performance up to that point. If people think that he was losing, which he wasn't, but if they think he was losing or it was close, so what? Canelo stopped him before the end of the 12th round. So that's the point here, is yeah, Linares was losing, and Haney obviously didn't have the power to knock Linares out. So he was fighting for 12, which is fine. He built up a very big lead. All good, no problem with that. But if you are knocked out before the end of the 12th round, then the other guy was better than you, plain and simple. He was better than you and he got the victory. That is just plain and simple right there. No ifs, ands, or buts. So Linares hurt Haney and should have been allowed an opportunity to hit him more, but Haney continued to jump at him and hold continuously over and over, and the ref let him get away with it. So, you know, Haney, I don't like that. Here's when you should hold. When that fighter's coming at you and you're hurt or you're tired, when he's coming at you and he gets close and you grab him, I'm fine with that. But Haney was pushing forward and going to grab Linares, and that is different. So I don't like what he did. I thought it was bullshit, and the ref let him get away with it, so you can't really knock Haney too much. But the point is it was controversy at the end right there. Doesn't mean Haney didn't do great, doesn't mean he's not on the level, and it also means that Jorge Linares still has what it takes to compete at the highest level here. He did get outboxed and outclassed. I think he made the mistake of not throwing a jab while he was coming forward. I think that really hurt him. Not throwing jabs in combinations coming forward hurt him, because Haney was a lot faster than he expected. He was just kind of walking him down, looking to land power shots first, which he did. He landed a lot of left hooks that set up that right hand in the late rounds. That was also a mistake that he made, was throwing too many lefts, thinking that was going to be the difference maker because Haney would be expecting the right. Well, you still have to throw your money punch, and no surprise that the right hand was the punch that hurt Haney badly in the 10th round. So, you know, whether a rematch is warranted, I don't think so. You know, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, so it doesn't really matter where I think it's warranted or not. But, you know, I don't have a problem with Haney winning, but I don't want to hear that there wasn't any controversy or bullshit at the end. He still has a lot to prove. He did fight and box very well, though, and I got to give him his props for that. And Jorge Linares, way to keep fighting a full fight, way to not get hurt when he took some good, serious shots, and keep grinding and coming forward. Impressive performance on both ends, and it was a very good fight. So I enjoyed it. Congrats to Devin Haney, and congrats to Jorge Linares. That's the DAZN recap. Hope you guys enjoyed this. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.